Yeah, I want to address something about that. If this might be very good to someone who's unaware of, if you here's a story like that, because it's very important. This is the easiest way to disabuse people of like bizarre ideas they're getting from. It's not their fault being someone younger, so he's getting ideas from like other places. They're just hearing it said a lot. Here's the thing: the book by the book by Barbara Ehrenreich that we were talking about, all the book reviews on it. The in the introduction to the book, okay, this is a very important thing to know because it's something that's important. If you don't to understand, if you don't understand, or you need to understand, when she sees in the intro, she just said when she got the idea for the book. And she described the conversation. See, this is why I want to break through, like, where something like what's going on, like, what, the minimum wage has to be raised, these kind of issues, these things. If someone's like learning about, like this sort of thing that there's a liberal and conservative, then there's this and that, and there's ideology and two parties and all this crap, and there's this news. All right, here's the thing: the conversation that Barbara Ehrenreich describes, where her and her friend were like, I don't know, I work at the Harper's or something, like they were sitting at a French restaurant and talking, and there was like, she's like, it's one of the many times we talked about such and such, and then I got this idea for this book. The conversation she describes it as like a familiar conversation because people, okay, but here's the thing: having nothing to do with political orientation, people should be aware, unless they're sick, that here's the thing. Right, I mean, it comes up a lot with people who are in, privileged sectors of society. It does come up just at, not with it, has nothing to do with like being particularly, what we call like it doesn't have anything to do with political orientation or being like a bleeding heart or being into the welfare state, whatever the hell they talk about, or not being into the market or whatever people talk about. No, it actually is just something that comes up all the time. People say, man, like, how do you think people are getting by? It's just a common, if people aren't sick, like it's something that comes up, like you'd be having coffee with a friend, like someone I would know in my like universe, someone saying, hey, Jesus, like how do you think people are getting by on the minimum wage? Oh, I have no idea. I mean, it's just one of those things. It has nothing to do. A lot of what's described in the news has to do with some kind of attitudinal thing, like the liberal bleeding heart versus the conservative down to earth markets and all business person. Like some weird, like it has to do with like emotional, psychological perceptions or things. That's actually unreal. Like what the truth is that people who are absolute, doesn't matter how. It comes up among intelligent people who are privileged how the hell anyone's getting by, because if you're economically literate and you live in reality, you just wonder all the time, like, how do you think people are getting by on the minimum wage? Oh, I can't even picture how they're dealing with it. I mean, but it has nothing to that. It has nothing to do with political orientation or what party you belong to or your sense of the world or if you're a compassionate person or a jerk. No, it comes up among sane people in the privileged sectors. How the hell anyone could be getting by on what, or how's anyone supporting a family and working these retail jobs or anything, or like these security guard jobs? Like, how do you have to feed a family on that? How do you think people are getting by? I mean, it comes up all the time among intelligent people, and she said that's when she was having a conversation like that and had that idea for a book she might do because she's a writer and works for Harper's. But it was who everybody knows that who's in the privileged sectors, that it's common sense that something has to change because it's irrational to think how people are living. The idea that they're indoctrinating people in the media and magazines and things to think that to want like the minimum wage raised, for example, among other things, or want unemployment extended, that has to do with some kind of like ideology or a bleeding heart mentality, or that you're not, business or what they're putting a picture of individuals into people's heads that they may think is real. So if this is coming into your consciousness and you're younger or something, realize that it has nothing to do with anything. You sit around people, it doesn't matter what political party they support, what their feelings are, whether they're a nice person or not, or they care. No, it's just a topic among rational people in the privileged sectors that you simply can't possibly imagine how anyone's getting by on any of what they're paying for these jobs, and certainly like they gotta do something like raise the minimum wage. So this comes up in conversation. How could it not? If you live in reality, it's just Jesus. When are they going to raise the minimum wage? Like it's just an obvious thing. No, people are being indoctrinated to think like, oh, they want the minimum wage raised, like that's that the leftist welfare state. Like you don't like the market. Like what? I mean, they're pretending that there's this special reality that has to do with like ideology about things like that, or that it's a type of person who would want the minimum wage raised, who's like there's some kind of bleeding heart socialist. Think that don't let that affect you. If you're younger or something, I don't know what that is or how dumb people are or how sick people are. They pick it up. But no. It's just common sense among people because it does come up all the time. You go to a store, someone's at the cash register, you walk out, say, how do you think anyone's getting by on that? The kind of money you make there when with the economy like this? So, I don't know. I mean, try to picture it. I mean, so how could you get by? I mean, it's just like an obvious thing to wonder and to think it's gotta be. They gotta do something about raising, wages. I mean, but like that has nothing to do with political philosophy or what party you vote for or what you think. It's common sense that they have to raise the minimum wage.